Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Flight Simulator 2024 alpha test. So in this video I'm just going to walk through my first impressions of Flight Simulator 2024. Now, disclaimer, this is the alpha test. This is not the full version, so there's going to be a lot of missing features, bugs, etc. So right now, what we're really doing is we're just customizing our identity. There's a lot of different faces to choose from, different presets, clothing options, hairstyles, glasses, all those types of things. And it's looking pretty decent, and it's nice to have that customization for your avatar, as you will be seeing them quite often, especially in career mode where you're looking to earn your pilot's license, and obviously you look at getting other type ratings and things for different aircraft specializations. So I'm pretty impressed with the customization options, just playing about with them really just to see what things look like. Never really intended to spend too much time on this because, well, the main problem I had was that I could only really play this a little bit on the Sunday night before the alpha test finished. So the Monday morning, I believe, is when it stopped. So I maybe
ATGS.
got
Approaching
a
target area
couple
for
of
water
hours.
drop.
We can hear some different voices here.
Pickup zone in sight, guys.
The sky is calling.
The sky is calling.
ATGS. Approaching target area for water drop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Pickup zone in sight, guys.
So,
Rotate at
as you can
ER.
hear, some of them
Positive rate.
sound okay.
Cleared for
Maybe
approach.
voice 1 and
Landing
voice
check was
2
complete.
sound fairly natural. The
Hort
rest
stop
I
soft
wasn't too
ballast.
impressed with.
Green light for patient extraction.
Now, one thing that I was really looking forward to trying was the personalized voice feature. So I did try this. In fact, I tried it several times, but it didn't seem to be either working or available in the alpha, which I'm quite disappointed about because this is actually one of the features that I'm very much looking forward to. So basically, what it does is it asks you to record your consent first. And then I believe what it'll do is it'll ask you to record some words, and then once you've done that, your voice will be in the game, which I think is a feature that's really not talked about a lot by many people. And I think that's actually really, really exciting. Just being able to have your own voice in the game when you're interacting with ATC is going to be pretty cool. And it'll be one of the first things that I set up when I actually get to play in just about a month's time at this point
Rotate
now.
at
The
VR.
time I'm recording
Positive
this
rate.
video or editing it is the 18th. And of course, the test was on the 13th. So kept it for a little while before we went and started looking at recording and editing things here. But yeah, really looking forward to this. I think that's going to be a really good feature. And maybe not everybody's going to enjoy it because a lot of people use things like VATSIM or say intentions for interacting with ATC. But look, I've never used that. I would like to,
Flight
but I'm
sim.
not confident
44
enough
soft
in
ballast. Ready for takeoff. Clear
I
for
guess
approach.
understanding
Landing
all
check was
of
complete.
the procedures and all the terminology and phrasing that you need to use for it. So maybe something I'll look to try at some point in the future. Now here we're just testing out a couple of the outfits. Now it was a little bit buggy because I couldn't really get the outfit to actually match what I was clicking on here. But look, again, it's an alpha test, so I was kind of expecting there was going to be problems like this. I end up just picking some, shorts and a hat and some glasses and just going with that. It looks pretty goofy, but I didn't really want to spend a whole long time doing this part and not actually testing out and flying in the game. So what we're going to do after we've messed about with our character a little bit here is we're going to play the first section of career, which is choosing your starting airport and then looking to take your first flight with the instructor. So we're going to have a look at that in just a moment. Now, one thing I want to point out here that I was quite disappointed with and annoyed about is the Tobii eye tracker support already. It didn't seem to give me much customization options. So as you can see, as I'm moving my eyes around, the world is moving and it can be pretty uncomfortable. Now, eye tracking is fantastic, but I prefer just using the head tracking option. I couldn't find something in the settings to do that. There was a lot of control option issues for me in this alpha, and I am expecting that will be fixed by the time the actual game is released, but we'll have to wait and see. So the first thing we're doing here is we're going to be looking at the world. So now, instead of having the world map being rendered twice in the game, this is live. It's live data that's streamed in, which at first when I zoomed in here, I thought, oh no, that's not really that good. But then it pops in. Now that's live streaming the Bing image data, which, to be honest, I think that's fantastic. You can zoom all the way in to the city, you can look down, and you can even see cars. You can see cars driving around in the world map. That's brilliant. I don't think that was a feature in the original 2020 game, so I'm really looking forward to being able to just explore places by just looking at the world map now. It's pretty crazy to think that that's actually possible. Like, this is just streaming all this information in through the internet. The install size was about 15 gigabytes. So, yeah, it was really, really quite interesting. Now, here we're looking around about Glasgow. And you can see, again, the cars driving around. Now, they do seem to clip in and out over, like, the motorway there. You can see that they are, even though they're going underneath it, they're kind of still clipping through the top. But look, I'll forgive that. That's okay. It's a world map. It's not the actual game, and it might not be like that in the actual sim. Now, what we're doing now is we're hunting around to see which airports we can start in. So I'm from Scotland, and I'm from central Scotland, west coast of Scotland, I guess. So I naturally wanted to try and find an airport near where I would be familiar. So you can see here's Prestwick Airport, but we can't use it because it's an international airport. You can only start at, regional airports, non-international. Now, there's not a whole lot of them in the west of Scotland, but I ended up choosing Campbelltown here, which is just behind the Isle of Arran here, which is pretty nice. The Isle of Arran is lovely, and if you've never been, I recommend it. Take a climb up Goat Fell, would be fantastic. Done that a few times. Just don't do it in January. Now, Campbelltown is actually a fairly large airport here, which is pretty nice. Great scenery, and I think this is probably one of my choices for starting area when the game comes out. Now, again, Tobii eye tracker kind of annoying me here a little bit again with the eye movements. Now, that's going to be a theme through this video, and again, like I said, you're going to come across some control issues shortly. Let's go into Campbelltown, see our friend.
Hello there. You must be Softphallus, right?
Yep, that's me.
Welcome to EGC. I'm Scott, the owner of this aero club. Here at the club, we provide all the training lessons you need to get started and earn your private pilot license. Then, once you've earned your PPL, you can build up your flight hours and get more experience by taking people out on first flights. But before any of that, let's head outside and...
Okay, so here we are.
Welcome to the apron. This is where all our flying adventures begin. Why don't you walk around a bit while I finish the pre-flight preparations?
Now, this is one of the features that I was really looking forward to. Now, I think it is really good. Now, I did have a bit of an issue there, and you can see there's a little bit of a cut.
Cessna 172 Skyhawk.
That's
it's the
part
main trainer
of
airplane in our flight school.
an issue with the game
our
crashing.
Cessna's got a glass cockpit and a 180 horsepower engine.
So Scott's telling us about the Cessna.
It's one sweet ride.
He's like, yeah, it's nice and easy to fly, but I think
let the good times roll.
We'll see shortly how that goes. Now, the Walkaround I'm actually really impressed with. It does feel really good. I think one of my main gripes though is that you need to rotate the camera with the right mouse button, and then as you do that, you need to then click it again to be able to click things, and the eye tracker was kind of interfering with me being able to click things accurately. It's sometimes like the oil cover here and the oil gauge, they're very close together, and the hitbox for them is a bit weird. So with the eye tracker kind of moving that around a little bit made it a bit more difficult for me, but it would have been fine if I could customize it, and also if the option or the keybind to turn it off actually turned it off. which is another great. I believe that will be fixed.
Welcome
I'm
aboard.
not too
While you
bothered.
settle in, let's go over our flight plan. After taking off, we will climb to 1,500 feet above sea level, and then fly over the airport to enjoy the view. Ready? Why don't you start the engine for us?
Okay, so we're going to start up the engine. Now, there's no sort of tutorial for which things you need to turn on,
Perfect.
so if you
The
know,
wind is
you
from
know.
270
If you don't know,
degrees direction with
good
a
luck.
speed of 9 knots. So we'll be taking off
Now,
from
Scott's
runway
going to
39.
taxi us out here, and
Okay,
then we're going to take
let me
off.
taxi to the runway.
One thing that you will notice is that not all of the bindings are available here, because the AI here will control the rudder while you're on the ground, but then when you're in the air it's all on you. Another thing that I found here is the camera
Alright, now comes the fun
controls.
After releasing the
They're either
brakes
too
and applying full
sensitive
power,
or
we'll speed up and take off once we reach 60
there's
knots
something
airspeed.
wrong with them, because you know
We'll
I'm
be
not
climbing
making
at 75
large
knots,
movements there,
which is the
and
recommended
it's,
climbing speed
you know,
for the Cessna
rotating me
Skyhawk.
almost 90
While
degrees,
climbing, we will
which is
follow
quite
a
jarring.
right-hand traffic pattern and make 2 turns. Don't
Now,
worry if it
he's
sounds
telling us
overwhelming.
here that what we're going to do
I'm
is we're
here
going to
to help.
take off and we're going to turn
Ready
right.
for takeoff? Apply full
Now he also
power
tells us to do that in the air, but the game is actually telling us to turn left. So I'm not quite sure. I think it's obviously it's an alpha. Again, it's probably a
Handle
bug.
the yoke, and I'll take care of the pedals steering the
Okay,
aircraft on the runway.
so we've started moving. At this point, none of my bindings are working, and I hadn't quite realised that up until the point where we had actually left the ground.
We have
Right
reached
about here.
5 knots. Pull the yoke a
Yeah,
little
we're
bit
in
to
the air.
lift off.
We're rotating to the left, pulling back on the stick, trying to turn it, nothing happening. So a quick little cut, and we change the
Perfect
bindings.
climbing
Now,
attitude and speed. I see you know what
Scott
you're doing.
tells us that at this point, perfect climbing altitude, or attitude, sorry, and speed.
We are 300 feet
He's
above the
obviously
ground. I will retract
not
the
paying
flaps.
attention to
You
what's
keep
actually
climbing.
going on right now. Now, I'm competent. I can fly. Flight Simulator 2020, I am perfectly capable of
Don't
controlling an
warm me up too
aircraft.
much, or we'll lose speed.
Now, none of
Keep the
these
nose of the
inputs
aircraft just
are
above the horizon.
deliberate.
We are approaching
These
our
are
first
very,
turn.
very
As
slight
you'll see,
movements I'm making with
the
my
Cessna
stick.
172
And what's happening is,
requires very
it's
little yoke
overly
to turn.
sensitive. I did manage to tweak some of
You can start
the
turning
like
right.
the sensitivity curves, but by default they were on super high. So even making a nice gentle turn like this, once I start to try and level out here, you see, like the controls just go madly flying to the right and left. Trying to put a little bit of yaw in also, the same issue.
Keep
I'm not
climbing
sure if this
and
was
prepare for the next
just
turn.
this aircraft and just with the initial flight test that they have it set up like this, or if that's something
Okay,
that I
turn
didn't
right
set
again.
right with the
You're
controls.
almost
But
there.
like I said, I was trying to
Remember,
figure out the
we need
settings
to
for them.
climb
The
to
controls didn't seem
1,500
to
It will keep
have a
us
lot
500
of
feet above the traffic
options.
pattern.
I did get it ironed out though, I think, in the end, but it's still pretty uncomfortable to fly with it. Now, the eye tracker is still on, however, we're not getting a whole lot of
I love the weather today.
visibility.
The
Like, we
clouds
can't
are beautiful.
really track the head
One day.
movements to look out the
There we
windows.
are,
It's only tracking the
1,500 feet
eyes.
above sea
So
level
again, I
and
don't know if this
500
is something
feet
that
above
needs
the
to be
traffic pattern.
changed
We have
in the
safe
game,
separation
or
with
if it
other
needs to be
airplanes.
something that's changed
Look
within
around, see our
like the
airport.
Toby settings or
Let's
something.
fly
But
over
it
it.
wasn't very apparent. There was nothing really there within the options to let me change it. Again, you can see these movements are really overly exaggerated. So it's actually quite hard to steer the aircraft properly. Again, like if you watch any other of my flight simulator videos, with exception of my first glider video, you'll probably find that I can fly. I promise. So here we're going to go and fly over the airport, and then what's going to happen is that's going to be the end of the first flight. And then we won't get to land the aircraft or anything. The AI will take it back down for us. So I think it is a good way of introducing people to, you know, flying, taking off, going in the traffic pattern, turning back around, looking at the airport, and getting a good idea of the scenery and how the feel of the aircraft works. So I like that idea, and I think I'm really looking forward to exploring more of the career. Sadly, I didn't get a whole lot of time to really do much more than this and a couple of free flights. But from what I played, you know, it was good. Only main gripe is that the controls seemed a little bit weird. So here we're going back. For some reason, we're kneeling down in front of Scott, as if he's like the king or some sort of thing, pledging allegiance to him or something like that.
Let's catch up at our headquarters.
And what we're going to then do is he's going to tell us a bit more about how things work.
You seem comfortable out there. I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time.
Comfortable?
There's a laptop in the office.
Don't know if I would say that was a comfortable flight.
Here you can see all the specific license certifications you can pass throughout your career. Your first step is to work towards your private pilot license.
Okay, so now we can see the tech tree, I guess, or the progression tree. Now there's a lot of different things here. The glossary will tell us a little bit more and will give us a rundown of what's actually included in here. Now this is basically just towards aircraft type, I believe, and not individual aircraft sort of endorsements or ratings. So it's really just like, you know, do you want to fly jets? Yes, you do the jet training. You want to fly helicopters where you can winch cargo? Yep, you do that one, and then, you know, you can do that in the career for hook endorsement, for example. So it gives you a good variety, and I think I'm really looking forward to exploring these and also learning how to do these things in a bit more detail as well. So that was a good look at the way the career works. I'm just going to take us back to this screen just so we can have a quick look at it again. But yeah, there's lots of different things in here. There's going to be plenty of parts of the career mode to learn and to experience. I'm really looking forward to cargo, towards things like you know, heavy lift with the helicopters. Passenger transport I think will also be quite cool, along with firefighting and search and rescue. So really looking forward to giving those a try out as well. Anyway, that's enough. I think it's been long enough now at this stage. So if you've made it to this point, thank you very much for watching. Again, thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. I can't believe actually how many subscribers we've had recently, and it's been fantastic, and all the comments and all the likes as well. So thank you very much for that. And if you do enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for more Flight Simulator videos, and very soon even more Flight Simulator 2024 videos. So thank you again for watching. Take care. Bye.